Hi, Keith Horan here today for an overhead club defense. This is lesson number 1 of 2, where I'll show you the technique step by step, and then you can join me in the next lesson where I'll demonstrate it on an opponent. When the technique begins, we'll be deflecting an overhead attack to the left side of our body. So we're going to extend our arms up with our left hand on top of our right hand. Next, we'll capture the arm by rotating our right arm around in a clockwise motion to seize the wrist and seize the forearm with our left hand. Now we're going to draw a counterclockwise circle, guiding the arm and the weapon. And then on the second time through, we're going to pull our hands to our hip with a lot of force. This is what causes our opponent to flip to the ground. To begin the technique, our opponent attacks from a different range. So we have to close that distance by stepping forward with our left foot. Next, we'll step in front with our right foot, pivot, stepping back with our left, and then do a final step with our right foot behind our body. Again, advance with the left, step with the right, pivot and step with the left, and then take the final step with our right foot. Now, the important feature of this technique is the synchronization between our hands and our feet. So we want to time stepping and deflecting the club to our left side. We're going to time bringing the arm up in that counterclockwise position to step with our feet, with our right foot and our left foot, and then pull back towards our right hip as we step back with our right leg. Hi, Keith Horan here today for lesson number 2 of our overhead club defense. In lesson number 1, I broke the technique down by each individual move, and in lesson number 2, I'll demonstrate the technique on an opponent. When our opponent attacks, we'll focus on 2 different principles. Number 1 is moving in, closing the distance to our opponent. This way I block the forearm rather than the club. The next thing we'll focus on is continuing our opponent's momentum. So when he attacks, we'll deflect to the side and start that counterclockwise circle that we talked about in lesson number 1. Now you notice that I've seized his arm with both hands at the wrist and the forearm. And as your opponent's arm reaches up towards your eye level, you'll pick up your right foot and your left foot, pivoting your body and preparing yourself to throw your opponent. Now remember, in the lesson number 1, we talked about creating momentum by pulling with our right arm and stepping with our right leg. So in this position, I'm going to put a lot of force in that pull, which is going to flip my opponent to the ground. Let's see the technique one more time without stopping. Now, based on where our opponent's body position is, we can finish the technique in a few different ways. In this case, my opponent is very close, so I can drop a knee to the head or punch to the face. And then when I finish, I want to disarm my opponent and step back on guard. Ah, yeah.